posted this big theatrical video about I'm going into sabbatical. What I do when things are just not coming together, things are breaking, timing isn't right, nothing is working, everything's out of sync, and I'll push and push and push, and then after about 3 weeks and I'm not seeing any results, and you're just kind of fading into the background of the matrix. You have to step back and not just say I'm going to take a break. You have to literally mentally and physically go into a recluse state and just sit with your thoughts. So I'm back, and yes, by request, I will do more motorcycle content. Oh, look at that bald eagle. Oh, shit.
Not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom.
Yeah! So that's why we counter lean. We can move fast. So anyways, that's dirt skill. Anyways, I wouldn't have hit him anyways. I could have kept driving straight, but make the moves now. Beautiful. Look at this. This is what happens. You gotta pay attention. Fast brake action. We're not even on a highway. The bugs are all like crazy. This year's gonna be really bad with bugs. We had no real freezing winter. So, and it's already bad. This is like August bug stuff. And I'm in Amity, Oregon now, and I need to get fuel. I am going to take my Ducati After to a gentleman that's possibly interested in buying it. I bought this like 3 weeks ago, and thinking I would make it an adventure bike just for new and different content. What a bike to take. It could do it. Not the hard stuff, but it could do it. I love how light it is, the 110 horse. I mean, the stance is pretty good, but I am too big for it. I can't see me sitting in the saddle very long. Plus, there's no real mods for the fuel. I'd have to get bladders, which personally I hate. Oh, look at this. Almost $6 gas here. Or here, let me get some fuel here. We'll finish this up. All right, got fuel. That's one of my favorite things to do when you ride is just stop, get a coffee, get a water, smoke, and chill. All right, the guy interested in buying my bike called. He's running late, so I thought I'd sit here and just have a coffee. How you doing? I'm one of those crazy YouTubers. Anyway, so I'm going to hang out here in Amity for a bit, and it's for sale. Always a salesman. I'll just hang out here for a bit. Tomorrow, it starts. Clouds are coming in, and it's going to rain and get in the 60s and like 30s. So you know, I don't have my Range Rover anymore. This is solely my transportation now, and if this sells, then I'm gonna have to figure something else out. But I need to get a different bike, an adventure bike. I'm probably not gonna buy a new one because I'd be a puff folk now, and it was all by choice based on my experiments. Experiment over. But let things happen. Get out of your way. I did for a 2-day sabbatical, and then everything changed at that point. So yeah, let's see what happens. To be continued. I got a question for you. Why are all these food carts just opening up everywhere now? They are all over the place. The brick and mortars are shutting down. I have my theories, but write in the comments why you think these things are going up like crazy. And honestly, especially here in Oregon, they don't do real well, but maybe 4 months out of the year. And while I'm waiting, so here's my setup here. I've got the GoPro 12, and I love this helmet actually. It's all mic'd in with the Bluetooth for the phone. And I still have an old RAM mount. Of course, the rubber pieces fell off, right? I didn't glue them. You're supposed to super glue them. It comes with glue when you buy them. And honestly, you really need them. I just put tape on here for now, and what's basically holding it up is the rubber thing. So y'all convinced me to do more motorcycle content, and I will. But I wanted to share the whole process from selling my home to deciding to just piss the money away, all of it. And if you're new to the channel, go look at my playlist over the last year. What I decided to do, recap, is I've been a millionaire twice in my life. I've lost everything 3 times in my life. And then I became very fortunate in 2019. It's a form of inheritance, but it was actually used for an art project, and all the art I made for the person that paid for it. That's the real story. And so we bought homes, I bought homes, we bought stocks, bonds, gold, Bitcoin, invested, did what everybody else does, and I've just never had luck with that at all. And I don't have the patience for it. I'm not going to wait around and just build up this money. I just don't do things that way. Life's too short. Live. The fountain of youth in life is to not prepare so much that when you hit 65 years old, you retire. Well, most people, believe it or not, and I've done business with retired people for 27 years, as soon as they retire, they get sick. And they don't have the energy or the passion anymore to go out and explore life, so they just rot. That's what most people do, and I elected not to do that. So sold the home, paid for, sold everything, decided to lose the money on my terms in hopes of it making more money, because there is a science to that. Well, we're still on the trajectory of profiting from this experience, not necessarily by my YouTube channel. But what I've learned is priceless, and sharing the experience of what that's like. So that's the backstory, and I'm going to get back on the road and go meet this guy and see if he buys the bike. Okay, so my experience with the Ducati After. It was very awkward at first because the front end just dives down. I'm used to seeing the dash, the instrument cluster, and I'm used to having a windshield up here, at least covering, most of my face. So riding with much wind, it's not as comfortable. The shield is big enough or wide enough to keep the wind from hitting my chest, so it gets rid of that fatigue. Bike doesn't sit necessarily completely straight up. It does slant towards the gas tank, and so your trousers just ride up your crotch. So there's like a lot of readjusting. There's a nice little indent in the back part of my seat to hold me into the seat, and a lot of times I'll sit up there. It's more comfortable and it looks stupid. Long trips, it's nice to have different positions. I can stand up on the bike. The pegs are a little bit too small for me, and the shifter knob is actually, it needs to be a little bit longer. But standing straight up, like when you're on an adventure bike on the paved road, where you can stretch your legs straight up, and which is not the proper way to ride. You want to keep your torso forwards, your knees bent, stay centered, and so. But it does hold me in that position correctly. 110 horsepower. Well, I'm used to what's the T7, Tanner 7? Wasn't it like 70? I think it weighs pretty much the same as the T7 and the IBEX, but the L-shaped engine does give you a lower profile, so the center of gravity is fantastic on it. Very agile bike. I got used to this down here. You feel like you're sitting on the fender. That was awkward. You've got a street tire on the front. It's a small one. That took a bit of getting used to because the 21-inch dirt tire that's on adventure tire bikes, it's just lighter, and also the steering ratio, the turning ratio. This is more like a street bike. It doesn't have that as sharp of a turn ratio. The modes that it has, which is Whirl Band, Touring, and Sport. Between the Whirl Band, in the city, or Touring, you don't really feel a difference. But when you kick it into the Sport mode, oh yeah, there's a big difference. This bike really jumps on it when you get over 7,000 RPMs, 6,000. That's when the Ducati really sings. And just as always, it sounds phenomenal. This is a version of a Ferrari for motorcycles. And So it has all that playful muscle bike type of features, but it's a small brat. It feels like a super powerful scooter in some ways. Anyways, I've gotten really used to it, and I've done some childish things, like jump curves when I'm pulling out of places. Braking is phenomenal on the bike. Let's see, I keep going straight. It's really well designed. Hear that crackling? I love that crackling. The starters on this year, 2013, that's an issue. It just seems underpowered. It doesn't grab right or something. The starters are known to go out, and they do have a better starter for these things. Let's see, where am I going straight? That you can get. I looked up the video on how to install a battery DIY, and it's a little bit of a project. Look at those beautiful cumulus clouds. I love this time. They're so dramatic. The clutch and everything. It's first gear is long. So what are you doing? Look at this. Look at that. She just didn't care. But anyways, you gotta watch out for that stuff. And look, I don't honk my horn. I don't yell. Yeah, I stuck my hand out. It's reaction time, folks. Oh, I turned here. Okay, I gotta watch too. And so react, focus versus getting mad, honking your horn, and revving your engine. I mean, you can do that afterwards. I'm gonna get off and meet with this gentleman, Dennis, who used to have one, and he misses having one, and he sees the condition of mine is in really good shape, and so let's go meet with Dennis. Oh, grain, look how beautiful that is. I'm still not at Dennis's. Well, looks like Dennis wants it. It's Friday right now. He's going to wait till Monday to come get it. But I wanted to film. Look at this. Oh, man, it's so beautiful. Rain clouds coming in. Really a joy to ride this bike. It's so easy with a lot of power. Just so easy to maneuver. Very squirrely, very reactive. You gotta love the exhaust note on a Ducati. It always has that wonderful deep-throated sound, the theatrics of a Ducati. An Italiano bike, an Italiano bike. Hey, I'm Italian, so it's fitting. He had an interesting story. He's 70 years old. He's been a bike rider, motorcycle rider for, I'm gathering, over 50 years, because I said 50 years. He goes, oh, that's nothing. He's ridden all over Japan, I guess. He lived there. An interesting guy. He was part of engineering for the Ford company. Fellow bike rider. Then we started talking about Zen, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. We speak the same language. Of course, a lot of us adventure motorcyclists do. We all have this deeper thing. We appreciate the meditative process of riding a motorcycle and the concentration that you, for us busy-minded people, this is, so what do you folks do in this situation here? You can go around, right, on the shoulder? You can, and I probably could, but you know what? Everything's a numbers game. I really enjoy making videos. I actually enjoy editing. I do it all on my phone with Y2 or YT Create. And seriously, I seem to make videos so I can sit out underneath my awning and smoke, maybe have a beer or a glass of wine or something, sit out there and edit. Not all wound up with getting rich with YouTube. Not chasing that. I just continue to enjoy this. This is a great avenue for creativity. Okay, I've got it in sport mode, so let's go ahead and play a little bit here. I've never had a speeding ticket, ever. And not necessarily drive the speed limit all the time. It's real hard to go slow in sport mode. Now that I've been riding in sport mode, I don't see why using the other ones. I don't think I'd ever use the other ones if I end up keeping the bike. I love that response. It's right there. Actually, it seems to idle better, runs better. I think it's meant for sport mode. Yeah, it had lower RPMs. Yeah, I'm at 3,000 RPMs. In the other modes, it jitters. It does this, whatever you call that. But I'm in sport mode at below, so I'm at 2,900 RPMs, and it's happy. Yeah, everything's better in sport mode. There's like no reason to have it in the other ones, other than maybe you're saving fuel a little bit. And back at camp, beautiful sunset happening right now. I love this RV park on that. It's very clean, very nice. And finally, I want to thank you for watching. And this bike might be gone next week, so I'm very happy with it. It's so enjoyable, but it's not set up for what I plan on doing this summer. Just in time, here comes the rain and cooler weather. Beautiful sunset. Love the Northwest. Oh yeah, thank you, Dennis. Thank you. Take care.